Hello, Colonel fans. Mike Wagon. I'm here for Colonel's All Access at John L. Guidry Stadium, here with the head coach of the Nichols football team, Charlie Stubbs. Just a couple days away now from heading to Kalamazoo for another matchup with the Western Michigan Broncos. Coming off the matchup with Oregon this past week, what have you guys been working on in preparation for the Broncs?
Well, we're just trying to get better in all areas. We did some good things, and so we're trying to talk about those and so that they know that we recognize the good that they're doing. We got some things to correct all three phases, and I know on offense today we spent another good session with crowd noise because it's going to be loud up there in Kalamazoo. It's their home opener, so we know what to expect. I don't think it'll be quite to the magnitude that Oregon was, but we got to prepare so that we don't hurt ourselves, because offensively we moved the ball on occasion, had some shots there in the red zone, and then we got out of sync a little bit with maybe a delay of game or just time management problems, and we got to correct those. So we had a good day today with that. Again, defensively flying around, it's a whole different offense than the Oregon approach, so they're having to learn new schemes. And so very optimistic. The guys are out here running around. They see some things. They see some potential. But what we want to do more than anything is build off of last week. It wasn't indicative of that score. Sure, they had the upper hand, but I thought we did some good things, and so we need to just repeat them and exceed them.
How do you think you match up against Western Michigan?
Well, they're not Oregon, but they're a good football team. They played Michigan State tooth and nail. We know how physical it is. It'll be a real physical game, I really believe. Of course, we played them twice already since I've been here at Nichols. One time, very competitive game, and then one time they got, pretty much had the dominant hand. But we do have, I'm taking a lot of veterans there that have been to that environment before, so that's a plus. But I do expect them, again, we're just going to try to be one step ahead of them. Biggest goal for us as a team is just look at halftime and be in the vicinity, be in the striking distance. Then get to that third quarter and be the same, and then what we got to do to win games, you got to win the fourth quarter.
I think, football always starts with the offensive and defensive lines, and the offensive line, at least to anyone viewing that game from up in the booth, looks solid. It looked very good. The defensive line overmatched by Oregon, but again, I think most defensive lines out of the Southland would be overmatched by that kind of caliber. Do we expect to see a more competitive matchup from the defensive line this week?
Yeah, I do. I think it was the schemes that Oregon had. They stretched you out so much, and so it was very tough. I thought when Oregon tried to run inside, we were effective. It's just when they broke the perimeter, that's when we had our main problems, which is what they try to do, and we tried to prevent. But I feel like it'll be much better. And then I also believe, too, we played a lot of new guys in that defensive front, so hopefully with that game experience, they'll be able to improve. And then on the offensive side, we're not a perfect machine by any stretch, but we were going against such talent. Many people, even watching on TV, wouldn't really grasp how big they were, because they had one defensive lineman 6'8", the other one 6'6", and then 6'5", and so it may appear to be easy to throw, but sometimes our poor quarterback couldn't even find our guys, and so we had to move around in the pocket a little bit just for vision. But again, it was a good test for us, and again, I just want to see us take the next step.
About 50 passes, no interceptions. Can't ask for a better effort than that.
Yeah, we did all right with that. We didn't really force too many either, so I was pleased, because that secondary worries everybody. I bet there'll be plenty of teams this year throw a lot in their hands, because all of them, I think two of them were definitely All-Americans, and then they had other guys back there that were ball hawks. They would go after it. So if you made a mistake, they'd have made us pay.
Not really sure which quarterback is going to start for Western Michigan at this point, whether it's going to be Zach Terrell or Tyler Van Tubergen. Is there one or the other that gives you a better matchup?
I don't think so. It's so early, and we have really only one game to go off of what they did in this game. And even up at the Michigan State game, it rained a little bit during the game and had a weather delay. But we're just prepared for both of them.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
The head coach of the Colonels, Charlie Stubbs. We'll talk to you again soon here on Colonels All Access.